something greater than ourselves, we are blessed to have such a special guest with us tonight to share some words about what's going on with our brothers and sisters in Israel. So I'm just so thrilled that Rabbi Meir Azari is with us. And I want to share with you who he is so that you know what a blessing it is for him to speak to our community tonight. Rabbi Meir Azari is the founder of and has served the past 33 years at Beit Daniel, located in North Tel Aviv. Over the last 3 decades, Beit Daniel has become the Daniel Centers, 4 Reform congregations spread across the greater Tel Aviv-Jaffa area. He served as the executive director of the Israel Movement for Progressive Judaism. He served twice as the chairperson of the Israeli Council of Progressive Rabbis and is a current board member of the Jewish Agency in Israel, serving as deputy chair of the Evaluation and Measurement Committee. In 2017, Rabbi Azari received an honorary doctorate from Hebrew Union College. He also received the International Humanitarian Award from the World Union for Progressive Judaism and Women of Reform Judaism at the URJ Biennial in 2017, recognizing his contributions to progressive Judaism in Israel and around the world. He is proud to have just published his 3rd book, Lighting the Way, Jewish Leadership That Makes a Difference. The book was released in Hebrew to critical acclaim, and he hopes to have the book translated soon into English so that we can read it and study it in a book club very shortly. So it is an honor and a privilege to welcome Rabbi Azari to join us at the pulpit to share some words tonight.
Shabbat Shalom. It's great to return to your community after so many years, I think 15 years or something like this. And to see the change, the spirit, the ruach in this community. I really enjoyed sitting here in the corner and hearing the music. It's lovely, and I hope that we'll find a way to bring part of it to Tel Aviv. I enjoyed every second of being here. And the fact that I don't need to run the service this evening. That's the second idea that... So thank you for having me here this Shabbat. And I know that I have a limited time, so I will try to be brief and tell you the story. But first I would like to encourage you. I know that you heard so much during the last year about Israel, about what is going on in the Middle East. By the way, we don't know what is going on in the Middle East at this point. It's so complicated. Who knows what will happen? Last weekend I was in Portland. We saw a different Middle East than the Middle East that we see this weekend. So things are changing all the time. Last year was a terrible year to all of us in the Middle East. Each one of us from the Israeli community lost something. There's something in the heart and the mind of each one of us. Something cracked there. We are not the same people, we are not the same nation. Our community is not the same community. And it will take us years to recover and to rebuild ourselves. But I would like to encourage you by telling you a story that happened a few weeks in our community and brought me to tears. Usually I don't cry. I saw so much in my life, and I consider myself as a tough Israeli guy that don't cry. But we cry quite often during the last year. I saw an article in the newspaper about a guy by the name Terry Kipnis. He was murdered in Kibbutz Be'eri with his wife and his caregiver. He was, in the last years of his life, lost the ability with his muscles. He couldn't do anything. The only thing that he could do is to draw a little bit. So he used to draw, and part of his drawing was saved, were not burned, while the terrorists burned the house after they killed them. By the way, it's a murder that was done while the television the camera in their heads working. So most of the Israelis saw that evil scene happening. I read the article and said, well, let's bring those pictures, this artwork, to our synagogue. I said, wow, it's a wonderful idea, the family, and we work a little bit, and we had the opening evening. I thought that a few dozens would show up. Hundreds of people show up at Beit Daniel for the opening of that exhibition. And part of the group that show up, we didn't know that they will come, although we invited them, is a group from Kibbutz Be'eri. We had about 30 to 40 people from the kibbutz. And you have to understand that dozens of the people from the kibbutz were killed. There's still people in Gaza from Kibbutz Be'eri. And at a certain point in the introduction of the presentation, one of the guys stood and said, I have to say something. You don't know, but Terry and part of us used to row, and whenever we went to the sea, and before he was sick, we used to sing a song about a man that fights the wave and overcome the difficulties of life. And we'd like to sing this song for you. Can you imagine to yourself about 20, 25 men from the kibbutz stands and sing this song? In America, it might be We Shall Overcome, but it sounds, from an Israeli perspective, very different. We shall overcome. We already, I think, won the war, although it was a very tough war, different than any war that we experienced in the last 76 of the state of Israel, years of the state of Israel. But we have a lot to do from this point. And I've come to tell you that the next war is starting right now. It's not a war against enemy. It's a war from within the Israeli society. It's a fight about what type of Israel we'll have in the next generation, the generation after this terrible war that we just, I think, won. The question is, what type of Israel we'll have? What type of connection we will have between us, you sitting in America, we sitting in Israel, between us sitting in Israel and European Jewish community. And I'm here in order to tell you that we have to win this battle. The battle is about the soul of the state of Israel. Is Ben Gvir, Smotrich, the ultra-Orthodox, and the list is enormous, will win? Or we, liberal, modern, egalitarian Jews, will win? We have one state. We lost that state twice. We cannot afford to lose that state again. We have to do whatever is necessary in order to make sure that Israel will survive not just as a strong country in the Middle East, but as a light for nations and a light for us. We deserve it. Miracle was done during the last 100 years in that piece of land. Try to imagine to yourself what we did as a nation. Just between 48 and 52, 4 years, 600,000 Jews that won the war of independence absorbed 2 million Jews. 1 million from the Holocaust, the other million from Arab countries. People are talking about the disaster of the Palestinian community, but the world doesn't talk about the disaster of Jewish people that had to flee from Egypt, Iraq, Syria, Morocco, Algeria. No, 1 million Jews. Think about the miracle. Try to understand it from an American perspective. You have today hear about 350 million people in America. Can you imagine to yourself absorbing 4 times more than the people you are? Can you imagine to yourself? Each of those refugees had something to eat. Each one of them had the ability and access to doctors, education, and the wars that we won, the science that we developed. The wisdom that was created there. This is Israel that we deserve. As we fought against the enemies who fought to build that unique state. In the last few years, we see more and more the growth of those who think Israel should be another or a different planet. And we have to win the battle. I bring a certain perspective that says Israel deserves Judaism, not shtetl type or Sephardic type. Israel needs, and we need that. That unique spirit that you have in your own congregation here in the United States, conservative, reform, egalitarian, just name it. I've heard so many times from rabbi in North America, my friends sometimes, oh, it's so complicated to do that in Israel. Israel is have a different flavor to Judaism. They don't understand Reform Judaism. They are busy with the fight, with so much that they need to do. I had the privilege, as you heard in my bio, in 91 to get the key for the first synagogue in Israel that was built as a Reform synagogue. 91! How late as a movement we came to Israel, to that miracle. By the way, the same was the conservative movement. 91. First synagogue in Israel that was built as an egalitarian synagogue. A building, a real building that you could feel, well, this is a synagogue. And I heard before that they won't come. And people started to come. I know that your congregation is the big one in the country here. And so much people appreciate it, talk about it. We have 250 bar mitzvot a year. Abelos, you can understand that. We have 300 converts a year in our congregation. We had to fight the city of Tel Aviv for 20 years in order to get the land to build a synagogue called Beit Daniel. The Supreme Court of the State of Israel had to make a decision, force the city to give us the land to build the synagogue. The second building that we built that hosts your kids when they're coming to Israel, was built as a guest house and a synagogue. We get the land from the city for free, and $2.5 million, just do it, build it. Because we need you. We need that spirit. We need egalitarian synagogue. We need a synagogue when women and men can sit together. We need a progressive, I know that the word progressive is very different here in America, but I'm talking from an Israeli perspective. Liberal synagogue. We need that because you can give us a flavor that is so needed to what we call in Israel secular Jews. And Yair Lapid, today the head of the opposition, but for many years a member of our congregation, wrote a beautiful article once. It says, what we call secular Jews in Israel, actually they are Reformed Jews, American style, but they don't know it. Yeah, they're like you. Light candles in Hanukkah, doing Passover, Brit, Bar Mitzvah, just name it. They come to synagogue a few times a year. It's like you. Reformed Jews, but they don't know it. And I said in an article that was published recently, just a little bit after Beit Daniel was open, just put the synagogue, put the rabbi, put a program and people will come. And it happens all over the country. Put a synagogue, put a rabbi, and they will come. I've heard Rabbi Bennett, you're there. Last week, comments here from the Bima about Jacob. He said, put God into your life and faith into your life. And in this parasha, we learned another perspective about Jacob. It's not just put your God and faith in your life, put the state of Israel or Israel in your life and be able to fight for it. Able to fight for it. Like the Hashmonaim, the Maccabees. You have to fight in order to find your place in that unique place called Israel. You need to make compromise, as Jacob is doing in our parasha with his brother. We need to do that right now with our neighbors. But to need to be strong, smart, and dedicated, like Jacob, to find our place under this unique sun called Israel, unique place called Israel. And there is so much room for Reform Judaism in Israel, and this is what we do. For the last 33 years, I devoted my life to bring that message to Israelis. Again, they won't come. It's not the flavor. I saw them. We opened the door in 91, Rosh Hashanah, first service, and I saw the people coming to the synagogue. And part of them look inside. Oh, synagogue? Men, women sitting together? It's not for us. Part of them just walk away. Others just started to go step by step. And until today, we have a full house. We can do more than that. We can do better than that. We need to do better than that. Because this is the fight about the soul of the state of Israel. About the nation of democracy, the meaning of pluralism, human rights, women's rights. From one side, Israel is so progressive. In 1968, we had the first prime minister, woman prime minister, called Meir. As I heard just recently, you don't have yet American woman as a president. We have now third women that serve as the chairperson or the president of the Supreme Court in Israel. We're very progressive. About our synagogue, how Judaism is still stuck in the 16th century. We have to release it and brought our Israeli Judaism to the 21st century. And doing that, we need your help. We need your partnership. And I'm here doing a tour in the United States, trying to raise this voice and this call. This is the time. We need you. The major fight is starting right now upon the soul of the state of Israel. And Israel of today is not the small community of 48. Yes, no. We will be there, we won't be there. The debate among the CCR rabbis, should we be part of this for this miracle? Shouldn't be part of this miracle? You have to be part of this miracle. Because that miracle called the state of Israel, will play a major role in your life as Jews here in America. You know that. We've learned that so the last year, together. So I'm here, as I said earlier this morning to your Israeli committee. Let's build a partnership between the two communities. You and the state of Israel, you and the story of Reform Judaism in Israel. Your brothers and sisters in Israel needs you. Need your inspiration, your voice, your energy, wisdom. And I hope that you will be there for us and for you as well. So thank you for having me here. Toda Rabba. And I hope to see you next time in Israel. We say all the time, Shana Abba B'Yerushalayim, so we can make it Tel Aviv as well. It's wonderful. And I want to do something else, is to endorse you, to take partnership in the fight that we're going to have here in America. Part of the fight upon the soul of the state of Israel. It's about the soul of the Jewish Agency and the World Zionist Organization. We're going to have election next year, March, April next year. You'll get a lot of information from your rabbis and help us to win this small fight here in America. You know, because politicians in Israel judge who we are according to numbers. And they heard that you are not big enough in this point. Last election, we lost a little bit. We need to hear in Israel quite clear voice. American Jewry demands the presence of Reform Judaism in Israel, and we are strong, vibrant, and we are the biggest Jewish community in America. They have to hear that. It will influence how they treat us in Israel, and we need your voice. Toda Rabba. Shabbat Shalom.